Samsung flagships are no longer recognized as real high-end phones. Can the Galaxy S26 Ultra succeed? A large majority of you feel Samsung's flagships are no longer a good choice. Is Samsung in trouble? The way things in the technology business have been going lately, and the growing prices of components like RAM chips, yeah, one might see how 2025 is not the absolute finest year in recent times. I bet $1 to a dime that you, or someone you love, have a Samsung product at home, even if it's not a Galaxy phone or a tablet. Samsung is among the most popular and known brands in the world, but its flagship phones might soon be in jeopardy. The votes are in. There was this Ice Universe survey, and the votes are in. Is Samsung currently not a good choice for high-end phones? That's the question we asked you. The majority sentiment, about 63%, or the clear majority, is largely unfavorable. Nearly two-thirds of the respondents are not attracted by what Samsung has to offer in terms of a maxed-out handset. Less than a quarter of respondents, approximately 25% in total, disagree with the concept. They believe that Samsung is still a viable choice for luxury smartphones. Roughly 13% say that Samsung still has got the magic, but only in terms of foldable phones. Yup, the Z Fold 7 was good like that, and I'm sure it helped you vote this way. However, why may one consider Samsung as a poor choice for a high-end phone? Is it because of the hardware stagnation? Let's take a step back to the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which is presently crushing in terms of popularity. It's now almost 1 year old, and as nice as it is, it's not a true major increase over the S24 Ultra. Sure, the S25 Ultra has a trick or two up its sleeve, and it's a wonderful all-rounder, but not that different from its predecessor, save for the rounder appearance. Now we're weeks away from the S26 family, although others are a bit suspicious about those. Why? Well, there are persistent reports that the S26 Ultra will once again come with a 5000 mAh capacity battery on board, while Chinese competitors like the OnePlus 15 come with 7300 mAh batteries. Some phones give significantly more. Then the 3x telephoto camera of the S26 Ultra might acquire a physically smaller sensor. I imagine there'll be a ton of software optimizations, but larger sensors are better as a rule of thumb. Also, the new M14 OLED material might not be taken full advantage of on the S26 Ultra. Instead of bringing along extra brightness and extra vividness, the panel would be designed for longer battery life. That's wonderful, but nobody genuinely believes a Ferrari should be gentle on the fuel, right? What's more, the vanilla S26 might have the same camera arrangement as the one on the S22, and that's a pill a bit too huge to swallow easily. Even Ice Universe, one of the best-known and trusted tipsters on anything Samsung, states it directly. My advice is to consider getting only the S26 Ultra. Don't squander a single penny on S26 and S26 Plus. They are not worth it. Samsung S26 needs to step up its battery game, or it will slip way behind the competition. If I'm Samsung and I'm having my new S26 models ready to debut in a month or two, the advent of the OnePlus 15 would be making me extremely concerned. Because the latest flagship phone from OnePlus, now available for pre-order in the US, serves to underline an area where Samsung is at risk of slipping behind. The OnePlus 15 has the best phone battery life of any device we've ever tested. We set it up to surf the web continually until it runs out of juice, timing how long it takes. In the OnePlus 15's case, that's more than 25 hours, about 5 hours better than the next longest-lasting handset. Certainly, the OnePlus 15 sets a very high bar on battery life, but it's not like it's the only flagship to lengthen the amount of time it can stay powered up. Apple's iPhone 17 series, led by the long-lasting iPhone 17 Pro Max, created milestones of its own. And while Google's Pixel phones have struggled to keep up with other flagships after moving to Tensor chipsets, the Pixel 10 series did show some noticeable gains over the equivalent Pixel 9 devices when it arrived in August. That's not to claim Samsung flagships don't last a long time on a charge. When they launched at the start of the year, all three S25 models placed on our list of the longest-lasting phones, yet subsequent launches in 2025 have knocked some of those Samsung smartphones out of the top positions. Have any S25, and you're going to have a phone that lasts all day on a charge. It's reports regarding the future S26 releases that have me anxious. At a time when other phone makers seem to be taking increased battery life extremely seriously, reported advancements to the forthcoming Galaxy S models have me wondering if you can say the same thing about Samsung. Now let's take a look at the S25 battery life. We initially evaluated the Galaxy S25 series shortly after the three phones launched at the end of January 2025. As you might anticipate of the model with the greatest battery, the Galaxy S25 Ultra set the pace, posting an average of 17 hours and 14 minutes. But the Galaxy S25 Plus, 16x55, and S25 to 15x22, put up outstanding times too. We're ignoring the Galaxy S25 Edge, which came out later and has a considerably smaller battery due to its slimmer form. The Galaxy S25's battery test result looked especially remarkable at the time, considering that was the most compact phone in that initial wave of S25 versions. Even with a 4000 mAh battery, the Plus and Ultra models had far larger power packs. The regular S25 managed to give more than 15 hours of continuous surfing on one charge. That's extremely impressive. The ensuing months, we've updated our battery test, and while we didn't retest every Galaxy model, we did run the latest version on the S25 Ultra in order to compare that phone to Apple's iPhone 17 releases. Under the new test, the S25 Ultra fell shy of the 15-hour mark. My interpretation is that Samsung's latest flagships still last a long time on a charge, but they don't quite measure up to devices from Apple and OnePlus that have come out since Samsung's last flagship release. The Galaxy S26 debut, which may happen as soon as January, while other reports foresee a delayed release in early 2026, provides Samsung the opportunity to show that it's just as serious about boosting battery life as its rivals. But recent Galaxy S26 rumors don't offer a particularly optimistic picture. A specs report from a reasonably reliable leaker at the start of December has the regular Galaxy S26 model receiving a minor rise in battery size, from 4000 mAh in the S25 to a 4300 mAh power pack. However, that same site includes the Galaxy S26 Plus and Galaxy S26 Ultra with the identical 4900 mAh and 5000 mAh capacities as their respective predecessors. There's not broad consensus about the probable battery size for the S26 Ultra. Some reports claim Samsung will opt with a 5200 mAh cell, an upgrade, though not much of one, from the Galaxy S25 Ultra. We should point out that there's more to battery life than just the size of the power pack. The Galaxy S26 series is in line to employ Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 hardware, and that system-on-chip promises more efficient power management as part of its feature set. Even if certain S26 versions use the Exynos 2600 chipset instead, as has been rumored, the new Exynos silicon is constructed on a 2nm technology, meaning the transistors will be more densely packed than the 3nm Exynos 2500. That usually correlates to higher power efficiency. Nevertheless, the leaked Galaxy S26 specs would seem to show that reports from earlier this year that Samsung would resort to a silicon-carbon battery for its forthcoming flagships aren't likely to happen. Silicon-carbon batteries are denser than the existing batteries in use by smartphones, thus they can store more capacity without expanding in size. It's this technology that allows the OnePlus 15 to feature a 7300 mAh battery while still keeping a modest 6.4 by 3 by 0.32 inch frame in a 7.4 ounce handset. And it sounds like something the Galaxy phones, notably the Galaxy S6 Ultra, are going to miss out on. I would definitely expect some boost in battery life for Samsung's future phones. A new CPU and even a slight increase in battery size will see to that. But you can't help but look at what OnePlus achieved in increasing the battery life of its flagship phone and feel like Samsung is potentially missing out. But speculated specs are exactly that, and we won't know how long Samsung's upcoming phones can last until we get a chance to test them next year. It's one of the many enhancements we'll be keeping an eye on as we come closer to the predicted Galaxy S26 debut. Samsung Galaxy S26. It's not just about camera hardware. Despite the absence of sensor innovation, there's still opportunity for the Galaxy S26's camera to exceed the Galaxy S25. 1. Actuators. The report notes that supporting components, such as actuators, may be modified in next year's model. Upgraded actuators could give significant end-user benefits, such as faster autofocus and enhanced optical image stabilization, resulting to superior low-light performance. Image processing. The S26, at least in its US editions, is rumored to utilize Qualcomm's new 20-bit triple image signal processor, a feature of the company's top Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 SoC. This feature alone is meant to give 4 times the dynamic range of its predecessor, enabling improved highlight quality and better shadow detail concurrently. While the cameras may look the same outside, next year's Galaxy S26 may potentially bring a big photography increase over the S25. However, without those promised headline camera spec upgrades, many may decide to forego on an upgrade. Since the publication of the ELEC article, regulatory certificates have emerged relating to 2 Samsung model numbers, SMS 948B and SMS 948U, generally cited as domestic and international variants of the S26 Ultra. Together, these papers establish Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 as the chipset for Samsung's 2026 flagship internationally. According to famed leaker Ice Universe, the S26 Ultra may also come equipped with a suite of advanced AI functions unavailable on the other S26 variants. Even the S25 Ultra will apparently have to wait several months after the S26 Ultra debuted to obtain these tools via software updates. This is a significant departure for Samsung, which has traditionally pushed wide AI support across several products. Restricting high-end AI technologies to a single model could cause some users to feel left out or treated unequally. That's so many smartphone users still don't pay much attention to AI functions. But for early adopters and tech enthusiasts eager to explore cutting-edge AI experiences, there may be only one clear choice: the S26 Ultra. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tech news and updates. And I will see you in the next one.